Hey, it's Cherie from Big Notes Get Votes, and today I am going to continue along the theme of 3 habits you can focus on in the next 3 days that will help to improve your singing and your performance confidence, because that's what I'm about. I'm a professional singer and a vocal coach, and I predominantly work with emerging music artists. And being on tour currently myself, because here in New Zealand, where I live, we are out of lockdown, amazingly and thankfully, and we have a lot of summer festivals happening. So the reason I wanted to do this, selfishly as always, is kind of for myself to remind me, especially after the festive season or before the festive season even, when things get a little hectic in life, there is lots to think about. Sometimes we just need to spotlight 3 things in the next 3 days that we can focus on to look after our voices. Now that's what I would love you to do today, and I'm going to pop links to the other videos that I've created in this series. But today we are going to be focusing on singing goals, vocal journaling and habit tracking, and creating an inspiration playlist. So let's kick off with the first one, having some singing goals. If you're going to be focusing on your habits, it does help to prioritize them because, as I said, life gets crazy and we really want to be sure that we're working on the things that we need the most in that moment. So when it comes to setting yourself some singing goals, I want you to consider it from 2 perspectives. What do you need as a vocalist to help you feel more confident, to strengthen your voice and enable you to tell the stories you want to tell, utilizing your voice, your artistry, and your creativity? The second thing is then, what kind of performance goals would you like to set for yourself? Now, I do realize that a lot of the world are in lockdown. I want to encourage you to continue to practice and continue to perform with the view to creating your own performance opportunities. Either you're in the starting blocks and you can hit the ground running when things hopefully come back to normal, and they have here, so I'm fingers crossing for everyone else in the world, that you're able to hit the ground running. Your voice is ready, your performance ready, you've got a set created. You might have performance goals that is creating a set of music, learning and practicing and rehearsing maybe 8 to 12 songs so that you've got about a 45-minute set that you can perform either live at a club or in a venue. You might want to busk. You might prefer to pre-record, whether you're going into the studio or doing something to camera like this, or streaming live online, which is a very viable one and something I encourage all my artists to continue with throughout their artistry and their development process, because it's a great way of connecting with your audience consistently, even when you don't have performance opportunities. And most of the emerging artists I work with don't have regular performance opportunities. So a performance goal that I encourage them to have is to create their own performance opportunities, something that you have to work towards. Then you've got your performance goal. What about your voice? What do you need to work on for your voice? And common things that I get asked about is how to hit high notes with more ease, how to keep your voice consistent, power, stamina, different voice qualities like belting, knowing where the sweet spot is in your vocal range so that you can put music into the right key for either covers or when you're writing originals for yourself. So there's lots of things that we can focus on. And I would love you to just pick 1, 2, or 3 singing goals for yourself. Let's start off with 1 in each camp. I would love you to pick in the next 3 days a vocal goal that you would like to have to focus on. And that doesn't have to be for the next 3 days. This can be long term. Let's say the next 3 months. It does take a minute for our voices and our bodies to learn, practice, and really take on board any new techniques. So give yourself a bit of a grace period, but do pick 1 singing goal that you would like to use to improve your voice in the next 3 days. The second goal is performance related. Are you going to learn a new song? Are you going to put that song list together? Are you going to upload some videos of yourself to YouTube? If you do, tag me in it, let me know. I'd be very happy to see them. So that's the first thing. For the next 3 days, focus on those 2 things over the next 3 months, and then come back and review and set some more singing goals. So moving on to the next area of focus, I would like you to track your progress. I would like you to use a vocal journal, whether it's digitally online, or if you like writing things down in a book, that's cool. Or if you want a template, I have one and I'll pop the link below for you. And you can grab my vocal journal template, which are a lot of well-being questions. It asks you to track things like how much water you're drinking. Are you noticing any nutritional impacts on your voice? Like say you went out for a spicy meal and then you found you had reflux. And that didn't feel great because, reflux is acid moving up your esophagus and touching your vocal folds. Tracking all of these elements can make sure that you know how your voice responds and make sure that you're adjusting these things when it matters, like in the lead up to important performances or recordings. So vocal journaling can really help you to have a space to review some of these habits that we've talked about. So you could even write your singing goals in your vocal journal, and you can track other things like hormones, where you are in your cycle, and see if that impacts your voice. I know it certainly does for me in the lead up to my period. I definitely notice more clunkiness, and so I'll slightly extend my warm up, and that's something that I've discovered by being able to track and being mindful of what I'm doing each day. And then there's a great habit tracker attached to it as well. So if you are doing these habits, you can write in your own, or there are some suggestions as well, and just check them off and help you to stay on track. So vocal journaling is important because if you are reviewing and checking in with things, this gives you, like I said, a space to contain all of these golden nuggets of information about you and your voice and what serves you best. So grab that vocal journal template and vocal habit tracker and let me know how you get on. Last but not least, when we are focusing so much on our singing goals and making decisions and tracking how our voice is performing, it can sometimes feel a little clinical. It doesn't feel like the most creative thing that you can do for yourself as a developing artist or as an emerging music artist. And because of that, I want to remind you to create an inspiration playlist. What this is going to do is not only be a place where you can keep songs that you love or songs that you might want to practice singing or workshop later on. It just gives you a chance to engage with music in a way that is completely inspirational. An inspiration playlist is great for keeping all the songs that inspire you, maybe to start singing. Like for me, it was listening to Nina Simone. So I know that when I listen to Nina Simone, I'm always going to get all the feels about voice qualities and connecting through song and storytelling, as well as things like Bang Bang by Ariana Grande and Jessie J. That's kind of like my hype song, all the way through to And I'm Telling You by Jennifer Hudson. Well, the Jennifer Hudson version in particular, because that is like I call that like I'm going to throw up in my mouth a little bit song if I try and sing that in the original key. But I do like to have that as a song that I can workshop from time to time. I also added a new one, which is Never Enough from The Greatest Showman, because I wanted to challenge myself in different voice qualities. And so just having this playlist is inspiration. It's a reminder of why I love music. It's a reminder of the things I want to work on, my singing goals and voice qualities that I love, or embellishments and ornaments that I hear with singers, like vocal riffs and runs that really excite me, or tonal qualities that I want to study further. It's just a place where you can put all the music that inspires you to keep going. And so when you're tracking and when you're focusing on your goals and focusing on creating a career in music and developing your voice and your confidence, it's important that you remind yourself of where that inspiration comes from. Why do you love singing? And that inspiration playlist will do that for you. So those 3 habits stacked on with some of the other ones in these series, and you should go and check them out, they will definitely help you to stay focused and help you to build and develop your voice and your confidence and your performance ability. Now, I would love you to subscribe and hit that notification button, because I'm going to be doing these videos in this series every Thursday and Sunday, and then you'll be the first to know when I upload them, and you'll be the first to be able to jump in and try these new habits on for size. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts about any of the tips that I've suggested today. Let me know if you tried them, and go and check out all the other habits, and I'll see you soon.